Today we got a really cool topic we're going to talk about, and I got Corey on here with me again, and we're going to talk about some product, Corey, that is going to really help buyers and also I think real estate agents. So this product allows you to finance the cost of renovations and put it into a loan. And I love this product. And the reason that I love this product is because it eliminates competition. Now, you've heard of these loans before, right?
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about it. So guys, we're talking about renovation loans today. Renovation loans are underutilized, misunderstood, and a huge missed opportunity for people. And I think a lot of that reason is because nobody understands how to do them. And Corey, I don't know, have you talked to anybody about these products, or, what's the general consensus of people out there about these products, the misconceptions that you're hearing?
We just have the fear and uncertainty just with getting the builders involved, and there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of people involved, a lot of hands in the cookie jar, if you will, with doing these types of loans. Dealing with the contractors, dealing with HUD consultants, getting all the inspections done, the time frame as to when it closes to when they can actually move in when all the job's done. So that's where I'd say the biggest hesitation comes from, but there's also a lot of upside to this product as well. It's kind of like you mentioned, you kind of eliminate some competition. We know the housing market's been crazy, multiple offers on properties, especially, the desirable price ranges in this area, anywhere from 350 to 550. But with these, typically with the reno loans, you're going after houses that have been on the market for a while, that need some updating, that aren't getting as much traffic, that people aren't looking to bid a crazy amount of money on. So what the reno loan allows you to do is to go into the house and renovate it the way you want it to be, and then close on the house afterwards. So one, you'll get the house below market. If you get a good contractor and get the renovation budget set in a good spot, you can come out on top with instant equity in the house after everything's all said and done.
And I think that's such a cool point, is that it eliminates that competition. I mean, the market the past couple of years, maybe months and everything, is that it's just been insane. Like, I remember at one point in the beginning of this year, we would have buyers call us, say, hey, we're on our 10th property, and every property we do has 17 offers on it before we can even walk through the front door. And, I'm looking at some other properties that are sitting on the market for 35, 45 days that maybe just need an updated kitchen. But everybody's got it in their head that they want these turnkey properties. Well, I think of it as like, same way as what you're saying. I could renovate this property and make it the way that I want it. Real estate agents. I think about the benefit for the real estate agent. Having to drive around and show 10 properties in a day or in a couple days. If you're showing properties in, we live in an area where there's, how many cities? With 7 cities, like right next to each other, but you have to go through tunnels, or you have to go over the bridges, and there's traffic everywhere. You're out there showing like 10 properties. By the end of the day, you're going to be done. Now, what the funny is, I hear stories all the time from real estate agents, and they're like, oh man, we drove out to this property and they loved it. They love the property. They love the school district. They love the neighborhood. It was right down the street from their friends. They hated the bathtub.
Yeah. So there's always except this.
They hated the toilet seat, or they hated the kitchen. Maybe there was wallpaper.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking wallpaper, but I don't want wallpaper. Have you ever had to scrape wallpaper?
A long time ago when I was a kid.
Dude,
that's something I never
my mom
to do.
used to have us scrape that wallpaper. We'd be sitting there getting that glue, and man, I don't want wallpaper. But a lot of people don't want to, they find something wrong with it. I love the house, but
right.
It's perfect, but
yeah,
the renovation loan has the ability to eliminate the but in that sentence. It's got that ability to eliminate that. Okay, well, you don't like that. Well, I got a solution for you. It's called a renovation loan. You love everything about this house. Let's just fix it. Let's fix everything. Let's put the money aside for it. You close on this house, you renovate the property. And
yeah, it's like a new construction without having to start from the ground up.
Exactly. And a lot of times a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
And you mentioned it before, you're moving into equity. Like, for example, you find a $250,000 home that only needs, let's say, $20,000 to $30,000 worth of renovations. And then they do an appraisal, and then the after repaired value comes in at 300, 310, 320. So you're moving into these properties with instant equity, where a lot of these other properties you've either overpaid for, or you don't have that equity. And I think that's, man, as a buyer, if I'm buying my first home and I'm immediately moving into $20,000, $30,000 worth of equity, that's crazy. It's crazy. It's unheard of in this market.
Yeah, it's not a bad start for sure.
Not a bad start. So if you are a real estate agent, if you are a buyer and you're wanting to learn about a new product, this podcast right here, this episode of this podcast is for you. We're going to dive into the different things that you can do. How do these loans work? What are the different types of reno products? And let's just kind of, run with it, Corey. We have different loan products out there. You have FHA loans, you have conventional loans, you have VA loans. And the cool thing is that all these agencies allow for some variation of a renovation loan. The two FHA ones?
Yes, the limited and it's like a full reno, 203.
Yeah. So the 203K standard and the 203K limited used to be called the Streamline because it was a lot quicker than the standard one. But yeah, now you got the 203K standard, and that's your big renovation projects. So your 203K standard, for anybody that doesn't know, is going to be your big stuff, your structural, your repair cost over $35,000. And, Corey mentioned it earlier, the HUD consultant. There are HUD consultants that you would need for a 203K standard, and they're just different inspectors. They're inspectors that go out and just make sure the property is being priced correctly, make sure that all the reno that needs to be done is included in their work write-up so that it can be included in the contractor's bid. Also, you have that 203K limited. Corey, a couple things that you can do on the limited. Go ahead. Just name some stuff.
Limited is going to be smaller projects. Like if you got to do a small bathroom remodel, nothing structural. So like you're not going to be tearing down any walls, replacing any beams or anything like that. But it's going to be more or less the smaller projects. Like if you need to do some kitchen work, redo bathrooms, redo some flooring in the house, some of the smaller budget items that aren't going to require quite as much work or labor, and they're going to be done in a quicker fashion than if you do the standard where you're doing like a full demo, completely renovating the whole front of the house or doing anything like that. Yeah.
So if you do have an FHA loan and you're like, hey, can I qualify for one of these products? Absolutely. It's a 203Ks. If you have a conventional loan, you have the Fannie Mae home style. If you have a VA loan, you're a veteran and you're moving into or you're active duty as well, and you find a property that you want to renovate, you can do a VA reno. We have different lenders that are up to, I think it's 50,000. And I think a couple of them go up to 100 now.
Definitely VA.
Yeah. Have you seen that?
Look into that one. I haven't.
Yeah. I know we at least go up to 50, but I've heard a couple of them start messing around with that 100K mark, which is huge for veterans because you can use 100% of your VA loan, no down payment. It's really cool. I was playing with numbers, and everybody's like, man, that's going to be expensive. Or I've heard people say, man, that's going to affect my down payment. Like, let's look at the number for a minute. If we're financing or we're inquiring about a renovation loan, let's just say a 203K, and we'll use my example, 250,000. Normal down payment FHA 3.5%, right? So if you do 250,000, your down payment's 3.5% of that. Your down payment amount is $8,750, right? And you say, okay, this renovation loan is kind of interesting. Let's figure out how much more my down payment's going to be, because it's probably going to be expensive. Not really. So check this out: $250,000 house plus $30,000 in renovations. I mean, you can knock out a ton of work for $30,000. Like, you can do a lot of stuff. So all in, you're at $280,000. Check out what your down payment is. 3.5% of that, $9,800. So we're talking, you put down an extra $1,050 at closing. Is that right? Let me make sure my math's right. Yep. You put down an extra $1,050 at closing, and we're going to give you $30,000 for renovations. It's like no brainer.
Yeah, I mean, when you think some people automatically have that thought, if I buy this house, you're going to have to come up with that money out of pocket or finance it some other way. Grand scheme of things, it makes more sense to finance it in your mortgage loan into a fixed rate with a lower interest rate than if you were to get a personal loan somewhere or go open up 5 different credit cards at all these home improvement stores to get the work done for you.
Hey, at least you'll have 0% for 12 months.
I guess that's true.
and then it jumps to 19% and you're paying too much money. But that's also a good point, is that, you just closed on a home. You just probably had to put a down payment. You probably just had to pay closing costs because seller credit, it's not really out there. And now you're like, man, $30,000. Now I got to pay $30,000 to renovate it. Now, I don't know about you, but when I purchased my house, I was like, I'm going to do so much stuff the day I close. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to put a new fence up. I'm going to renovate. I'm going to get a new kitchen. And I closed. And then, here we are a year and a half, 2 years later, and I'm still looking at the same kitchen.
Blow that wall out, man.
Hey,
tear it down, push it out.
Yeah, tell you what, Corey's answer to all renovations is just knock the walls down.
Hey, that's
203K standard. Make sure you get a standard.
Hey, HGTV, man, that's the way to do it. Tear walls down, open it up.
So, you say something else to make me think of something else, like squirrel. But this product is so beneficial to newer loan officers, real estate agents, and borrowers. Like, let's look at it from a loan officer standpoint. Okay. You're new to this business, and, you can pretty much guarantee that every loan officer in your area is going to talk about how great their service is, how low their rates are, and how fast their turn times are. They all say it. And you need something to separate yourself.
Yeah,
so as a new loan officer, you need a niche. You need something that's going to make you stand out. This Reno product is something that can do that. The Reno product allows you to get in front of real estate agents and say, hey, I got something really cool. You ever turn on HGTV and see all those projects going on? I have the solution. I know how to do that. I have the product. I mean, the possibilities to use this product to your advantage to market to different real estate agents is really endless,
It's a very easy lunch and learn topic too. I mean, I can get you in front of a whole office just to educate them on reno loans. That's just foot in the door.
And see those lunch and learns and different things like that. If I had to think about that, going and meeting for a couple minutes to talk about, how great you are versus education and teaching real estate agents how they can save the one thing that's really hard to save, and that's time, and giving them an option and another tool in their toolbox. I mean, it's huge. Like it really is priceless. If you can teach a group of people something new and add value to their business, I mean, it just doesn't happen. And I think that this product is something, especially for a newer loan officer, if you can get really good at it and really learn it, that it becomes such a benefit to growing your business, because you can utilize this product to market yourself.
Oh, absolutely. Because I mean, there's not a whole lot of loan officers in this area that do it just because they don't want to put in the time to learn how to do it, or they just hear nightmares of other loan officers that have done them in the past. And I mean, like I said, they are a lot of work. There's a lot more paperwork involved, a lot more parties involved, a lot more hands in the jar, a lot more coordination. Like I said, multiple inspections, appraisals, HUD consultants, contractors, underwriters, closers. I mean, it's a lot more that goes into it, but if you can get really good at it to where you don't have that hesitation going in and you can confidently move forward through the process and know what's happening, I mean, you're going to set yourself up for success, just because there aren't a lot of loan officers in the area that want to put in the work to do it, because they just rely on, the 3 big loans, your conventional FHA and VA loans. No one really dabbles with the reno loans.
And it's so true. Again, as a brand new loan officer, I mean, lunch and learn. You're probably sitting there, maybe you're listening to this and saying, okay, how can I market this? Go to a big box store, go to IKEA, go somewhere and just get like I'm just going to give some secrets away, little tidbits here. Go get a little package, create a reno flyer, put a hammer, a tape measure, maybe a ruler or something in there, and just hand them out. Label yourself as the reno guy. I know a couple people in different states that trademark themselves as the renovation specialist, and they kill it because no one else wants to mess with these loans. And it's because no one's willing to take the time to learn it. So if you can learn this product again, and you can do so much stuff. Imagine going to pool contractors, right? And saying, hey, look, I know some of y'all offer financing, but maybe if you're out there talking to people and they don't want your financing, you can refer them to me. And whether it be a purchase or a refinance, you can get a brand new pool. We can do the financing. You, the pool company, Mr. Contractor, are going to do the pool. We're going to do the loan. And now you have another referral source. So it's thinking out of the box and saying, okay, how do I utilize this program to my advantage? Because there's a lot of people that want a lot of nice things, and they just need to find a way that makes sense financially to make it happen. And hey, this is the way we can do it. Like, you can open up so many referral sources by utilizing the reno. It doesn't necessarily have to be real estate agents. You know, you don't have to necessarily only market to real estate agents. Market to contractors. Market to pool contractors.
Yeah, that's a good point. I never even thought of taking that avenue, but it's definitely something to consider for sure.
It's about building your database. As a brand new loan officer, the number one thing you want to do, and I'm completely leaving Reno for a second, is build your database. And the way that you can add different categories in your database is by expanding to different products. And Reno is one of them. So it's a cool way to do that. Now, let's go back to, talking about this as far as from a buyer standpoint. We've stayed on time that it's going to save you time. We're going to get your wants in this loan product. I know I did a quick calculation of down payment, but I get asked this a lot is, how is my down payment calculated? Is it going to make my down payment increase? And I know we did the a little example. But basically the way your down payment is calculated is it's your sales price plus the renovation costs. And that's the way your down payment. Now there's more complicated piece to the calculation. And this is going to be more so if you want to get more in depth into this. It's always forget this. It's the lesser of the sales price plus the reno cost, or 110% of the after completed value for FHA. Now, most people are probably like, what the heck are you talking about? Really, the big thing that you need to focus on is it's the sales price plus the renovation costs. Unless your home under appraises, then that 110% rule kicks in. But it's really the sales price plus the renovation cost is what you're going to calculate your down payment off of. So you do the math, and it's really not a lot. A couple $1,000s extra at closing, and you're getting 30 to 50K in reno costs at closing that you can use any way you want to renovate your property. So, how do you get paid? You know how the draw process works, Corey? You explain the draw a little bit.
As far as draw process for the contractors?
Yeah. As far as the guys, after you close, they want to get paid. Can they do a supplier draw? Can they, how they submit for it? How does that money work? I guess.
I don't know all the intricate details about it, but they will have buckets, or the lender will allow them so many draws as they're working through the project. So let's just say you got, for example, a $30,000 reno. Let's just say first draw, they give them 10 grand to go through and start completing some of the work that they want to. Before they get the next draw, a contractor and inspector will have to come back out and basically sign off on the work that they've done, just to make sure everything's done safely, done up to standards, and then they'll resubmit to get the next draw. Then they'll get that next bucket of money to work on, that second third of the project. And then same thing when they finish that, inspector comes back out, signs off on it, make sure they're not cutting any corners or doing anything that's going to jeopardize the work that the buyer's going to be paying for. And then that's when they can submit for the third and final draw. Same thing, inspector comes back out there, signs off on everything, and then you do final inspection, get the final appraisal done. Everyone gets paid, and everybody's happy.
Exactly. Submit your draw, get an inspection, and you're paid. I was just sitting here thinking about another way that you could market this to people, and we used to call them vision boards. And what you can do, you remember those? You ever do those school projects back in the day? those trifold boards that you do the science fair projects on.
Oh, it's been a hot minute, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, old trifolds. But what you can do is you can create a vision board. And what's really cool about these vision boards is you can put these in open houses, or you can take these to your presentations. And you can go to, like, let's say, for example, you go to Home Depot or Lowe's or one of your big box stores, and you go get samples. Like, you go get samples of carpet. Those aren't expensive. Or you go get the little paint sample, little strips. And you go to your, what's that?
Paint swatches?
Yeah, basic, those things. And you go get little pieces of flooring or little pieces of carpet. You put pictures of before and afters on these vision boards. And what you do is you bring the reno to life, because we can sit up here and talk all day long about, hey, this renovation loan is so great, but what does it really do other than say, hey, go turn on HGTV? But you get your trifolds and you say, your reno project, and you can put before and after pictures. You can put a worksheet of the numbers of what this looks like. And you can say, all right, look, take this with you if you want to walk around this house that you're looking at and say, don't look at this house for what it is. Look at this house for what it can be. And if you can create that vision, if you can create that image, that kind of imagination process as you're doing open house, you can get people so excited about it. And how awesome would that be to make homes that have been sitting on the market for 30, 45 days? If you're a loan officer, call up the listing agent to those houses that have been sitting on the market for 45 and 60 days and say, hey, look, find somebody to open up or hold an open house, and let me pitch this reno idea to somebody. Let me market this renovation idea on this home. And you might be able to draw traffic, because you can have people come in and say, hey, you know what? I never wanted this house, but now that you're saying I can have this paint color and I can have this trim, I can put new cabinets that are soft close hinges and they just don't even make a sound when you close it. And then, hey, maybe I can redo the flooring in here. And you get people starting to get excited and talking about it. A home that's maybe been sitting there for 45, 60, 90 days now becomes an interest to someone. Because you can always take a home that's not renovated and turn it into something that you love. Nice. And I think that just as a new loan officer, if we're talking about how to build your business, this is the way to do it, is learn this product, figure out how it works, figure out how to market it. And, we've given you a couple ways to do that. So again, I just love this product. It's just a great way to build your business, Oh,
for sure. Because like you mentioned before, like every loan officer is going out talking to agents, talking about how great their conventional pricing is, how great FHA, VA. They hear the same thing day in and day out. But if you come with something different to the table, you're automatically going to have their interest because it's something they haven't heard before. So if you can use that as like a foot in the door to set up that meeting, sure, you might not be cranking out renovation loans left and right with them, but you provided that agent with something of value. So they're going to think of you for something else other than just the typical three. Like, you're going to stand out just in that conversation alone. You're like, all right, well, if he can do reno loans, well, I'm sure he could probably do conventional VA and FHA as well. So, going to be ingrained in their brain that way, just because you set yourself aside from all the other people presenting the same information that they hear day in and day out.
That's huge. Like, that point is it. Like, that point's huge, because it doesn't even necessarily have to be about the reno product, but because you got your foot in the door and you're able to talk to some people, now they remember you as the reno guy, but also that you have all these other products that everybody else has, but you have specialty products as well. You become the go-to. And I think that if you're going to be a loan officer, then that's huge. That's huge.
Oh, for sure.
Especially a broker.
Oh yeah. You always got to provide something of value, no matter who you're talking to. You just got to have that giving mindset, constantly give more than what you're getting back. And the business will come.
Absolutely. Well, look, I don't want to hold you up too much, but again, the renovation loan is such a cool product. You can do so many different repairs. You can't do a tennis court. I'm sorry for anybody that plays tennis. I wasn't able to do a golf course. I don't have enough room for it. But as long as you do something that's going to add value or that's permanently affixed to the property, you can do it. You can do pulls. And again, there's not much you can't do. And that's part of contacting somebody that knows this product that can probably tell you the different things you can do, but just utilize it. Like, don't listen to anybody else that says they had a bad experience on it, because you might have a great experience on it. And it could be the difference between purchasing a house, not purchasing a house, or getting in these bidding wars that you don't want to be a part of. So check out the renovation loan, check out the product. Corey, I appreciate you coming on here real quick and giving us a little rundown on that. And, yeah, guys, if you have anything or you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Again, we're going to continue on with this, Monday Morning Mortgage Coach podcast, even though it's not Monday morning anymore. Click subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the channel, and, yeah, just stay tuned for more videos. Click the little notification button and it will ping you every time we upload something new. So appreciate it, Corey.
Yeah,
have a good one, man.
You too.